If you're just joining us, you need to start questioning your life priorities because we are about to go into the final to decide on who is going to represent the Kickoo tribe in the grand finals. We've had two very competitive semi-finals, but now we go straight to the finals. LivanMcLuvan versus Big Dictator Bossman. They're going to go head-to-head in a best of three to decide the representative of the Kickoo tribe. And who knows, we could be meeting them in person in Stockholm. The game is going to get started very, very soon. This is the tribe that they are going to be using today. Darren, how you feeling?
I'm feeling good, man. This is very exciting. You got two strong players here, Big Dictator Bossman, as well as McLuvan here. So both of them have shown good merit here. So it's going to be very exciting to see how they face off in this final 3 games that we're going to have here.
Well, it could be too. If someone does a little sweep, you're anticipating a bit of back and forth. It sounds like.
Well, I mean, when you're playing like this is there is that level of I want to win. So even if one player loses, I don't think the other is going to back down very easily. Which is why I think most likely either. If I had to put my money on something, I'll put it like this. I'll say three games.
3 games, okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm betting on 2. I think
you're betting on 2. All right, what are we betting
100%.
on? What are we betting on?
You tell you what, we'll have to bet on the plants. That's
all
what
right,
we're betting
on. I'm done with it. I'm done with that.
By the end of this, I may not have a forest anymore. All right, in just a second, we are going to be getting going, chaps. And I will say from now, if you think you can do better, if you think you can book your ticket to the grand final, make sure to join the Discord and go for one of the qualifiers. We're getting into the final. Take me through it.
We are live. So both players here, again, starting on tier 0 upgrades, 4 stars, 2 units at this stage. Looking like Bossman got that early, he got that early lighthouse. So if McLuvan actually, does the math here, he can see that. Both of them have a village here, if I'm not mistaken. Well, McLuvan for sure. Spawn-wise, this is what's interesting. Okay, oh. Hold on. He went for the ocean.
What's his logic, do you think?
Yeah, well, his logic is fast expansion here. And also he knows that he can easily connect both of these. So if he goes for another port here, he's going to get that additional... He has great port access. Amazing port access. Okay, this is that is a strong start for McLuvan here.
It's worth saying that McLuvan is going to be warmed up, having just played recently. However, on the flip side, Bossman has had the opportunity to watch how McLuvan plays. He can see the tape right in front of him and was watching live at the same time. We are obviously operating on a 10-minute delay, so now the player is going to get an advantage from watching the stream at this point, but doing a little bit of work on your opponent's never a bad thing. Now we have 2 cities to Bossman's 1. More, I mean, you were talking about how important Fog of War is early game. What are you thinking about this now?
Well, this is very interesting because McLuvan is going to go back for that lighthouse, and he gets 6 stars per turn. So he didn't have enough for the port, most likely, which is why he didn't go for that play and then rush the ruin. Instead, he seemed to have only spent 2, which means he's going to have 10 stars next turn, setting him up for port access and also an upgrade if he goes for an additional port. Now, you take the other point of view here. Big Bossman is getting that southern lighthouse, gets great vision. He is still unsure which side McLuvan is on. Both of them are most likely unsure which side they're on because.
Yeah, they're just not going to know it. Again, we're going to see. I mean, I think McLuvan can get an educated guess here. Oh, hang on, he's going to figure out for sure here. Hello. And there he goes. He sees it. Oh, that's very nice vision. Doesn't quite get any lighthouses there, but obviously you can see his opponent now. What do you think of that?
That was a great explorer. That was an amazing explorer. He got full vision of Bossman. McLuvan needs to kind of cut him off as fast as he possibly can, or that would be the correct play. So Bossman is 1, 2, 3 units away from moves away from getting onto that one village. And I'm actually quite surprised that he didn't go for... Ah, no, I get it, because there might be a village there. So
Okay, talk me through it. You're half sentence in here, Chief.
I'm sorry.
I'm not keeping up. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So one of the things that he did there is instead of going on the port, he went towards the east there, hopefully trying to find a village. But there he is.
Explorer. There we go. So he'll figure it out now. There you go.
Does not get the lighthouse.
No, and it doubled back, so that's not great.
But he does see the village there.
Yeah, that sentence can be quite contested.
So
I think it's going to come down to the sea axis that we were talking about.
Yeah. So this is that village right there is a very important village for both players. So both of them really want that village.
It's like a port in Lenono.
Gets another port. Oh, that's good. Getting a lot of stars here.
I mean, the points are very even. The income is even. Both have 3 cities. How are you splitting them right now? Whose controller would you prefer to pick up?
Honestly, probably McLuvan here.
Okay.
McLuvan does have those 2 ruins. He's just faster on the water. And he's looking like he is in a better position to defend that one city in the middle there. Because think about this. If McLuvan captures that middle city in between both players, he's going to have direct access to the ocean. He's going to control that side of the ocean, which is directly in Bossman's territory. So Bossman really needs to secure that village as fast as possible. So if he's smart, what he does here is he positions that one unit close, so he can use his raft to siege, and then hopefully pray that McLuvan is not rich enough to go for scouts plus the technology scouts and then knock him off. But we'll see. The tides may shift.
This one feels measured. I'll be honest, it feels measured. I don't think. Can you point to anything that either of them have done like that's quite clearly mistake, not indicative of strategy? Because I'm not seeing anything.
Well, both players are the only thing you might criticize is the turn 1 delay by Bossman, which he went for the lighthouse. But at the same time, it's not always a bad play. But the thing is, if you cannot, he was able to upgrade his city and go for a warrior, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I haven't seen any obvious, very clear mistakes here. But it's interesting to see that Bossman did not prioritize the village. Instead, he's trying to expand, and also he got the first giant here.
Yeah, we see a giant on the board, potentially trying to flip it. I don't know. I mean, I think that village in the middle is going to be very contested. It did seem to me like McLuvan was going to make a play for it, and that might have triggered Bossman to get that giant. You think he's going to use it to push straight there, or
you think
he's going to hold it in reserve?
If I were him, I would definitely go for that village right there, because again, both players are going to have a huge advantage if they lock that down. It just gives instant. It's like, hey neighbor, I'm right here. So
neighbor's a little strong of a word, I think, for what they're trying to do to each other. But we'll stick with it for now. There's been no hostilities. I think also both players are. If you see, obviously, look, we can't tell what they're thinking. We can guess at it. We can only see their actions. But what the length of time between their actions taking it, and I'll point it out just there, is that Bossman waits a while, then ends turn. Does something, waits, then ends turn. So there's a lot. I mean, we're seeing it right now. We're seeing this pause in both of their strategies to sort of see, what am I going to do now?
Yes, they're definitely thinking. And I just want to highlight the 2 runes that McLuvan just got. He just got strategy and writing for free.
Okay.
Strategy.
And he got that from the ruins, sorry. Yes.
From the ruins, yeah. So he got those for free, which is huge. So right now, if he wanted to, he could create some very strong defense as well as water tribe units, right? He could create some defenders, put them on an ocean, and use that to kind of punish his opponent. In terms of expansion, he is behind. Well, he is in a similar position to Bossman, but Bossman also has the giant, right? So if McLuvan doesn't prioritize a giant here,
You think Bossman's just going to sort of march forwards?
he's for sure gonna get that village. Okay, there we go.
Farming.
Goes for farming.
Okay. And
Yeah, he's gonna go for a. There we go. Gets his giant. That's
let's
what
see
I was
it.
thinking.
All right. It's going to be contested. I think, like I said, I think it's going to be the water. I think in the immediate future, I think Bossman's going to hold the advantage. But the second that McLuvan starts to control the space a little bit more, we might see things tip more in his favor. Oh, having said that, a giant in the water's quite nifty, and sailing. It's like he's listening, trying to prove me wrong. All right, I see how that works. Sure, no worries.
Yeah.
To get me fired by the end of the stream.
Well, the thing about
cagey.
these, yeah, the thing about these maps, man, like small map, it really means that mistakes they convert very quickly. So if someone makes a mistake, it's gonna show fast. But both players have decent water access. Both players have similar amount of units on the water. They both got giants live right now. But Bossman, he's got the scouts. So he can actually start poaching McLuvan here.
Do you want to explain what the scouts are?
Yeah, so scouts are essentially a type of unit that you can upgrade to once another unit is on the water. So for example, he has 4 of these warriors. He can then upgrade one of these from a raft, which it currently is, and raft don't have any attack. You can just move with them. And they're also restricted in their movement to 2 tiles. And if you don't have sailing, which is a technology, you don't have ocean access. An ocean axis and lake axis is separated by the color of the ocean. So for example, one of them is light blue, the other is dark blue. Dark blue is ocean, light blue is lakes. So you can see his rafts can easily move there. But if you don't have lakes or scouts, you can move on the ocean. And so the scouts, when you upgrade towards those, gives you a little bit of how should I explain this? It's a 10-10 or 15-15. It's essentially a unit that lets you attack from a distance. Squishy unit, squishy water unit.
Okay.
But the scout also gives you vision. So it's similar to a, we'll maybe see that at some point.
Hints of the name, no?
Yeah.
Hey, scouts.
They're scouts.
Oh, there we go. You're right. Starts to defend that. I mean, he couldn't see that village, to be clear.
There we see the scout. You can see how they work.
Stuff.
Boom. And pops him off there. Now, McLuvan is most likely going to take a little bit of a moral beating here. He's like, oh, losing cities is never fun. But at the same time, I don't think any of these players are going to give up very easily.
No, I don't think so. I will say, people were talking about Ramdingler, who was a no-show and wasn't in the semi-finals. He lost. He was swept in the quarters by not showing up. But he will be competing in other qualifiers, as you can too at home. If you think you could do better, pull up. The qualifiers are ongoing. The sign-ups are live for next week, which I think is the Yadak tribe next week. Those qualifiers, and of course, if you want to watch live, as Darren can attest to, it's a good old time as well. So make sure you go and get your ticket today if that's something you're interested in. Now, talk to me about this giant that sort of the juggernaut now it's been transformed into, meandering around in the lake.
Yes. Obviously, the juggernauts are a powerful unit. It's going to look like Bossman is most likely going to get onto that village before McLuvan gets to it. But at the same time, those 2 giants are definitely going to apply some pressure. So if McLuvan decides to, he could try and prevent Bossman from keeping that village for an extended period of time. Bossman has a vision, so whether he recognizes that or not is going to be very interesting to see. For example, now he's deciding, am I going to move my giant onto that village? Because he does have access. He can move, the giant can go onto that village. He's just debating, am I able to hold this?
Oh, is he going to do it? Is he going to do it?
It's like the, you know, on the edge of your seat, kind of like.
Yeah, I know.
You know? So
we know he's going to do something.
You know?
Go on, move it. Do it. Do it. Be aggressive. I love seeing the aggressive plays.
It's a risky play for sure.
Oh, come on.
But he needs to do the
He
math
really
here.
is.
Yeah,
He's moving around.
He decided not, because he figured out, like, I'm not able to hold that.
No, I think so. But neither one of them feel like they can hold it. I think the scouts are going to help him out in this early game, like you were saying, because he can start peppering it. But 2 giants to 1, a little bit tricky. To contend with.
So I would actually
fighting
argue
that
McLuvan here is also in a little bit of a better position to siege that village and maybe even hold it, because of the 2 giants that he has. So Bossman definitely needs to get a giant live, another one, kind of compete, or he needs to get more units to kind of push against that. But this is going to be one of those games that might actually drag on, just from the looks of it. And I don't say drag on in a negative sense, but
I heard you panic. You're fine. I think the audience is going to. Again, people are watching this because they liked Polytopia. I think a drawn-out struggle is probably going to be enjoyable to the audience. I don't think you need to clarify. Now, do you want to, for those people who might be more casual, how does one get a giant?
So the simple explanation is you just need to invest enough in your capital. Now, you can do that by upgrading technology. You see that, for example, McLuvan here, he has farming, he's got organization, he doesn't have hunting, interestingly, but there is a clean farm that he still hasn't gotten in his capital, which means he can invest 5 stars, gain 2 population. And once you get population, you're going to see that, most likely we're going to be able to see that right now. No, he's going to go for the, okay. So population are the blue little dots inside the village there. Now, when that reaches its max, you get a giant. And the first giant you get is on, after you get up to 5. You need, level 5.
Oh!
Okay.
He's moved to the other village.
Interesting.
To try and hold that one instead.
He knows he can't hold that other village.
Yeah. A pure naval battle today, it would seem.
He's
thematically appropriate, perhaps.
Yeah. He's lining up for a lot of scouts here, so he knows that he can poke. And McLuvan did something interesting here, as you saw. He went for the rammers.
Do you want to explain what they do?
Yeah, the rammers are really a direct counter to scouts if you don't have any defense to defend the scouts, because rammers one-shot the 10 HP scouts. Different type of water unit. This unit cannot attack with range. You have to be right next to it in order to attack it, and it deals a little bit more damage as well. The rammers are great for offensive plays and just straight up dogfighting. Get up nice and close, and you hit your opponent.
Just crash them.
And I will also say, a rammer is very effective against juggernauts. And the reason why is because they deal a lot of damage, and the juggernaut cannot retaliate.
Ooh! A little bit of combat down there.
Look at that.
There's one rammer down.
Is he gonna... Oh, look at that.
Not quite.
So he wants to prevent him from getting that. He goes for sailing here.
That giant's already down to half.
Yeah, he's gonna poke him down.
Having said that, you seen this in the east here, the sort of the lineup of the warriors.
Yeah. So he's.
I think perhaps maybe it's a little bit of a distraction. I mean, he's also discovered ramming, so he's definitely going to be putting some forces on the sea. But that's a lot of warriors that sort of just do nothing with. I think maybe he's going to push up with them. You think?
Well, he's keeping them there as defense, right? I mean, if he only had 2 warriors, let's say, for defense, 1 attack, 1 bomber, 1 sneaky rider, like we saw with one of the earlier games today, could siege that village. And if he doesn't have a way to unsiege, yeah, he's lost it. His scouts cannot, well, Bossman's scouts can't reach that east village where his 4 warriors are lined up. So he has to, he needs a wall of defense there with warriors.
I will say I like the flip into the rammers and positioning them as they are. He's able to do a lot of damage to that Juggernaut, a very powerful unit in its own right, and the Juggernaut's not being able to do anything back. He does have more of a firm control over the seas. Again, earlier I said McLuvan to have a firmer control of the seas, but it does seem like it's flipping in favor of Bossman, who also has a higher income, almost double the amount of units, more cities.
And also more
yeah,
points.
I mean, I mean, we were saying earlier, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, that McLuvan did have momentum with him, but it seems to have shifted against him now.
He did indeed. The question now is, how does he play from here? So he's obviously going to get this village. It seems like he'll want to deny that village. That would be the correct play. I mean, denying villages is really the best thing you can do. And the reason why is because once you have a village, it takes 2 turns to siege, right? Because one of them, you have to land on it, and then he passes to the opponent. And then that next turn again, that's when you can siege, right? So it's quite an investment. But here he goes, he's able to unsiege. And that's going to give McLuvan some fighting here.
Yeah, I mean, I still think we favor Bossman's position. However, that's a nice little attack there, isn't it? A little in and out. But
yeah,
McLuvan does take the city as well, Lolu.
So here we see he's getting his upgrades in, passing back to Bossman now. Now, he just got a ruin there. It looks like that was a swordsman in the south. Goes for a couple of rammers, re-sieges that. So he takes control back. And this is actually very well played by Bossman. So one of the things that we haven't really spoken about is the way he baited. And I actually need to double check with McLuvan's point of view if he did see all of those warriors in the back. Because Bossman is slowly getting control of the ocean now, of the lakes, which is putting McLuvan in a very tight spot.
Friend, you say getting control, but I'm seeing a navy versus not a navy.
Well, you are correct there, my friend.
There is no navy.
His navy
has gotten control. Yeah, I think there is no more navy. Okay, I mean that puts still the momentum is with Bossman. That is a giant that McLuvan does have. The Bossman's going to have to deal with, but again, with all the little scouts and everything, he can just keep poking at that all day.
So this was.
This is a great match, to be honest. This is a great match. I think both of them are doing well, but again, 22 units to 8. What do you think McLuvan has to do here to sort of pull it back?
Well, I mean, first of all, he's a huge unit lead. Bossman has an extra city here. What McLuvan needs to do here is he needs to get defense fast. So he needs to kind of defend against those rammers. It's going to be very tough considering the fact that he hasn't really focused on units in the back. Like if you look at the back 2 villages, and some of them might have been units that just were killed. But he doesn't have any units this turn that he can place onto the ocean, which gives Bossman a big advantage here. Like McLuvan, yeah, there we go.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go.
Okay. And I want to be clear again so I don't get it wrong, but I think that means Bossman takes the first victory in the final. Am I correct?
He is taking the first win.
Okay, good, because you waited a long time and you left me in suspense.
No.
Fantastic. Well, there we have it, chaps. One step closer. You were betting. You are betting, I should say, on a 3-gamer here, right?
Yeah,
so we'll
I'm
see.
betting on a 3-gamer.
But Big Dictator Bossman does take a win. I mean, that was quite a good one, I thought. What were your opinions on that game?
Well, that was a great game. I think what Bossman did there is, he forced a reaction, obviously, because he pushed towards that one village. He knew that the village that was, on the edge there, was going to be very hard to control. So he went instead for the other village, and McLuvan was like, "Nope, I don't want to give you that village." So he kind of launched an attack. And what Bossman did secretly is he built up a line of defense, right? Like scout, warrior, just a row of them, and forced a reaction from McLuvan. Mm-hmm. So when McLuvan went in with his giant and his scouts and everything, Bossman retaliated with scouts, with rammers, and just demolished his water, which really shifted that tide. So these are the decisions, right? Where if you can force a fight, you are typically in a very good position. But I'm curious to hear, like, what's your perspective, as a noob, in the game.
As to that game entirely, I can see you manufactured that question just to throw shade, and frankly, I respect it. No, from my perspective, and this is the cool thing about Polytopia, what I was seeing is an initial sort of cagey match. You can see them trying to fight over those two small villages, and like you say, you've got that little reserve at the back ready to go. I did think when McLuvan came out with those rammers, I did think it was going to be sort of curtains. I thought it was going to sort of cascade through. But frankly, his giant was up. I'm interrupted by the second game getting going immediately. We have McLuvan in the sort of very nice sort of purple pink there, and Bossman in green, opposite sides of the map, east versus west. Take it away. What do you think?
Well, this is an interesting map, layout here. Obviously, McLuvan is in a slightly disadvantaged spot here, considering that he has only one direction to move in. He can't move east and get that quick lighthouse. He has to go around to kind of discover the rest there. So he needs to get on the ocean. Hopefully, he finds a village up north there. Bossman, great access there to the water, right next to the border, 4 fishes, goes for hunting before capturing. And I think this is another thing that I want to point out to newer players, is whenever you buy technology, you want to buy technology before you capture a village. And the reason why is because your technology cost increases based on the amount of villages that you have. So always buying technology before capturing a village is essential. Mm-hmm. Goes for the explorer here though, and finds him. So this tells us a lot. It gives Big Bossman a lot of information. He knows now that McLuvan is there. He knows what he has. He knows where he is. He knows which direction he can move in safely without facing any resistance. McLuvan sees the border, so he can also go for an explorer here and most likely find Bossman.
Let's see if he does. And he does indeed. This is an interesting map.
It is. And, from the looks of it now, I think both players, now that I need to see Bossman's perspective again, but does he see that one village? You see those 2 fruits in the rune? I mean, I guess we'll see now. Yeah, he does, right? Yeah, he sees. He
does. There we go. Moves into.
Yeah. So
and another one.
And another one. But there is one village right there at the bottom there. I think that village is going to be quite important, closer to the rune.
I think McLuvan's going to probably take that one. I can't see Bossman being able to contest it this early.
It looks like it.
Going into the water this early. Okay.
That was a fast play, yeah. He's moving faster.
That's what I was going to point out, that it now feels like both the players are playing a little bit faster. You can see decisions making. I think they're warmed up, frankly.
They have.
All right,
Sees a ruin
take
there.
that village. All right, go on, gamble. What's it going to be?
Stars. Oh, yeah.
The next one's going to be stars. I'm going to tech.
Does he go for an explorer here? Yes.
Ooh.
No, he doesn't. Okay.
He did not.
I thought maybe he might wanted to secure that lighthouse, but he does know that getting the other lighthouses would have been hard, right? So
yeah, I think so. Now, again, it's just from my perspective, from an outside perspective, this feels like a weirder map. It feels like there's no real obvious avenues of confrontation. Like in the last one, we saw quite clearly that there was a hole in the middle, that there was definitely going to be some fight over. Okay, Explorer.
Gets the lighthouse.
Makes it to the other corner. Okay.
That's
Sees
great.
that village
Gets
up
the
there.
population here. Okay.
That's a great Explorer, actually.
All right. So, Levin got some good
The fog
vision
of
there.
war difference is crazy.
It is. And this is the thing about Polytopia. Like fog of war, it makes the game so interesting because you see both point of views, and it changes how the players move. Right? Like if you have that vision, you have information. You know, it's kind of like if you're going down an alley and it's dark versus light, you know what threats to expect, so you can actually prepare yourself. Whereas if it's dark, you're like, you know, how do you prepare?
What's coming out of that forest,
Exactly.
You know? All right, goes organization. Okay. Let's see, what's he going to take now? So this... Okay. This one's baffled me. I'm not seeing like an obvious way forward.
Okay, so McLuvan got stars here. Yeah, so I think at this stage, right, like McLuvan needs to secure that village that he's next to. If I were him, I would have actually rushed that village instead of going for the ruin first. But again, you know, because you don't know where Bossman might be. All of a sudden, he has a raft, and then he moves on to that village.
And now you're, yeah.
But again, yeah, McLuvan he really needs to secure the south here if he's gonna stand a chance.
On for riding. Oh, 3 riders.
He's gonna try and that's huge. That is.
There we go.
So there are moments when you want swordsmen and you don't want swordsmen. This is the time where you want a swordsman, like.
And also right on the front line as well. I mean, in one of the earlier games today, we saw a swordsman that was way back in there. And by the time he arrived on the front line, the battle was already lost. Let's see. So riding for McLuvan and Bossman. Let's see where he goes next.
So, mind you, I think Bossman, earlier on, he did get stars. I don't know, maybe that was McLuvan. Okay. But the danger here is if Bossman goes for a ramming, he could easily siege that Nova City. So if then McLuvan decides to, launch a full-on attack north and leave that city vulnerable, that might do a lot. But yeah, you can tell he's thinking here. He's trying to contemplate like what to do from this position. He's figuring out. He's calculating plays.
Ooh.
Okay.
I mean, again, I'll throw the same question that I've been hitting you with all evening. Which one would you rather be right now? Who's in the better position?
Probably Bossman. So obviously he's leading with cities. McLuvan is gonna catch up here, but he's okay.
Ooh.
Forcing an attack, finds a ruin. That's actually pretty good because Bossman is most likely not gonna try and contest.
He could. He does have the riders.
Yeah, he does.
It's a lot of riders, actually. So how many riders? So he's got, what, 5?
Yeah,
5
he has
riders.
5 riders now, yeah. He gets that.
I'll tell you this now, I'm baffled.
Yeah, the question now, does he capture or does he kill that rider? Right?
That's what I'm thinking. This is a very open-ended game. I feel like the previous ones, with my limited experience, I had an understanding of of what the general next step should be. This one is, like I said, it's very, I mean, again, correct me if I'm wrong, but it feels very open-ended. Oh, pushes forwards.
So without a unit there, like, here's the interesting thing. Bossman can now make a play to save his technology. He did go for forestry and capture that, but next turn, if he has the money, he could go for a scout, and he could knock off.
Ooh, that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, that's unlucky. Went the wrong way. He could go for a scout here and knock off that capture that village. Because McLuvan,
okay.
yeah. Because if he goes for a scout here, he's got 3 riders. 3 riders are not enough to kill a swordsman. Maybe if he goes back,
he's gonna sit on that city, and then he's gonna. Well, he'll have to contest it. He can't just let the swordsman.
That's yeah. Look at that. So he's gonna kill it now. Or at least damage it. So.
Yeah, I don't think he's gonna kill it, but.
So even if
he'll
he
make
does,
it such that he can't hold the territory. Yeah.
Yeah. It's roads.
Roads.
Interesting. So.
I've got a feeling something weird's gonna happen. I've got a feeling something weird's gonna happen. Wait, I mean, again, something odd's happening when both casters like, what's, Oh, hello. Okay, he's gonna try and secure that village. You think you can hold that village?
Well, I'm curious as to. No, wait, he can't. I was thinking, can he siege? But he's not able to.
I mean, surely he takes the village south of him, right? The one south of Nova.
What he can do is kill that, and then does he go forward or back?
Oh, go on, go forwards. Nah, backwards.
Yeah,
it's the smarter play, but you know.
Yeah.
I'm biased. I like seeing action. Actually, even if it's senseless, just any sort of violence. So I'm going to ask a question. Can you try and tell me why he wouldn't focus on getting that city to the south of Nova, so southeast of Nova? A village.
Which city is that?
There's a village southeast of Nova. Oh,
yeah.
Oh!
McLuvan resigns.
Is that's it, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Oh.
Bossman,
well, I take no pleasure in it, but I was right.
You get the plant, man. Yeah.
There we go. I'll take my forest. But more importantly than me winning a bet for a plant, we have ourselves our Kickoo representative. Give it up, ladies and gentlemen, for Big Dictator Bossman, the representative of the Kickoo tribe. This is someone that you're aware of. Do you think the Kickoo tribe has a good representative in front of you?
Yeah, I mean, Bossman is a solid player. You know, he is. I've seen him for a while. I've followed him along. He's overall just a good player, and the fact that he won this shows his versatility in terms of playing with different tribes, right? Because I think last year he played with, was it Zabasi or Umaji? So he knows how to play different tribes and make it very far. And that shows a skill.
Hang on. It might have popped up again. Let's see.
What?
I think it's 1-1.
What? It says here 2-0.
Yeah, but I think because it flashed up again, I think it's 1-1. I think we're going to a third one. I think you're right.
No way. So I get my plant. Yes.
No.
Oh.
Okay, it is 1-1. It is 1-1. Okay, I've just confirmed it again. It's 1-1.
Oh, really? What?
Yeah.
What happened? But it said Big Dictator Bossman wins. Or am I wrong?
Yeah, but I think it's because it pops up. Anyway, I think it's 1-1. We'll get a confirmation in a second, but I think it's 1-1, which means you're right. We're going to the. There we go. It's updated. We're going to the third game. It is 1-1.
This is going to be interesting.
All right, well. We'll see how the mental game factors in. And which plant would you like in the meantime? As the players get ready.
Yeah, well, I'll have to take a look here. Let's see. Yeah, maybe you know what? Something like the one on your right there, Yeah.
This one down here.
Yeah.
The one in the back.
Yeah, no. Yeah, that one right there.
That's my girlfriend's part, mate. You can get me in
Okay,
trouble.
okay, no, I'm
All
not going to take your
No,
girlfriend's.
I'll ship it. I'm a man of my word. I'm a man of my word.
I'll-
I'm not a
but
man of announcing results, though, apparently. But hey.
I have a little bit of empathy, so I won't take that.
Appreciate it. All right, well, it looks like it's 1-1 now. Let's see who is going to come out on top. And if Big Dictator Bossman does come out on top, then what we do is we just take what I've said and just supplant it straight in, hey?
Yeah.
The players are ready. We're going to get going for the actual final in just a moment. Any second now. And they'll be going head-to-head, and whoever wins this becomes the Kickoo tribe representative. The unknown to you, McLuvan, the household name of Big Dictator Bossman. Let's find out. I mean, again, we start once more.
All right, here we go. Okay, so tier 0 opener here goes for the upgrade. Same with McLuvan, both of them do that. Finds a village. So both of them have villages now, which is good. And they're very close to each other. They're very close.
Yeah, how do you think they should start this? Go on, McLuvan, how does he play?
Well, McLuvan, you know, he got the village there, which is right, bordering on Bossman. So this is, and he finds him. Look at that. Gonna find him here. Get the lighthouse, most likely. Here we go. And hopefully a little vision. There we go. So from this spot, McLuvan, you know, he just got a lot of vision, which again, information, right? This next move, oh, okay, Bossman went up there. That is a little bit unfortunate, because if he had gone south, he might have found a village there. So if you look at, okay, there wasn't a village, so he got lucky.
Oh, there's one, though.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to have a very hotly contested center of the map, I think, here. Right,
yeah,
pops up.
The question now is...
he's found him.
Bossman... Yeah, he needs to expand on the ocean fast. That's his only play. He's not going to be able to siege that village as of now. So he needs to focus on getting villages elsewhere. And Bossman knows, like, oh, how do I play this from here, you know?
He is slightly slower than his last one, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, this is a tough spot to be in.
Maybe he thought he won as well. And now this is a surprise.
Imagine.
So what makes you say it's a tough spot to be in?
Well, you know, access, right, to villages. So he's currently forced to go in the ocean here if he wants to find villages. And, you know, McLuvan can kill that warrior. Boom. And if he then finds... Okay, he didn't find a village there. But yeah, this is looking very, very tricky for Bossman. So if you take a look, he has that city, Valio. He's restricted to one movement, you know, on the edge there. He can't expand towards McLuvan. McLuvan can go full... yes, so he's going defense now. He's like, I need to defend here. I need, you know, I need to do something. Meanwhile, you have McLuvan, who is now going to capture this and have better access to villages. And he, yeah, there we go. This is I don't know how else to put this, guys. This is a very tough spot.
We'll have to see. Okay.
You're you know, like from your perspective, how do you read this? You know,
with difficulty. It's the best way I can describe it. With difficulty. Yeah. I don't know. For me, it's. I mean, look, the numbers. Well, I say the numbers. The placement speaks for itself, right? I mean, for me personally, I just rush for the capital. That's what I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you're in Bossman's shoes here, So
if I'm in Bossman's shoes, okay, if I'm in Bossman's shoes, I would probably start again. I'd keep moving that that villager south or the warrior south. Yeah, that's a great move. Popping out some archers to try and get some sort of defense going, and then hopefully you can. He can't even see that village though, can he?
He can't see it. That's the thing.
Man, the vision really hurt him.
That's the thing. That's the thing. That's why, you know, the fog of war makes all the difference here. You know, this is going to be one of those games where McLuvan needs to make a mistake, and Bossman has to find other villages as fast as he possibly can, because he's going to have double the cities, going to have more income, and he can play very aggressive here, forcing Bossman to not expand essentially, because.
Well, to be fair, the last time we saw someone, we said that they were going to be aggressive. It didn't really pan out like that, did it? They decided to sort of hold on to their advantage and stretch out, because those are your options in Polytopia. You don't necessarily have to push the advantage. You can just sort of hold it there.
Very true. Very true. Yeah, this is one of those points where if you know, McLuvan probably knows he's in a good position here because he has vision of Bossman, so he knows the position that he's in, right? So from his perspective, you know, he just needs to play this. He just needs to play this smart. You know, he needs to.
Yeah, I mean, he knows he's in a great place, like you say. Yeah. Yeah, he knows he's in a great place.
And you know, now he can decide: do I want to play aggressive or do I want to expand and just, you know, try and keep Bossman from.
I think there's your answer, my friend.
Yeah.
There you go, he's pushing forwards, popping in and out.
So Bossman can also count scores, so he knows that he has more villages. But he's going to try and do a little bit of damage here. Bossman is not giving up easily. He's not having any luck in that, you know, in finding villages down south there. Okay, goes for more defense.
God, the difference in vision is staggering, isn't it? I mean, it
is.
There you go, nice little ruin there if he wants to pick that one up as well. Okay, so we're seeing Bossman try and turtle up and try and protect his capital. I think if he hadn't done that, his capital's gone, right? We can agree on that. If he hadn't popped out the archers, that's sort of where he's at. And we'll see. I mean, again, it's in McLuvan's hands, and he can drop it at this point.
Yeah, I mean. Bossman is, you know, he's going with the archers. So he can now hold off any movement in No-No. I think that's the city's name, No-No. Mm-hmm. You know, so he can just keep on popping that. But again, those archers, if they advance without a warrior up front, those riders can damage it. So it's not looking like Bossman can do anything here except for huddle, but he wants vision. Yeah,
he's seen the city now. There you go. That's changed his thought.
So getting that vision is very important, and I would focus on water axis here. There we go, and then perhaps move the archer either down or up on the. And then create another warrior there if he can afford it. Yeah, there we go. So now the question is, Bossman needs to kind of hold him off. But again,
it's a lot of riders to hold off. I think here's the thing. I think he is going to hold him off. I think he's going to hold him off successfully, and I don't think McLuvan, because like you say, McLuvan realizes the strength of the position that he's in. He knows what's on the line. He knows it's 1-to-1, which to me suggests that he is going to hold the advantage and not pressure it, because in pressuring, he can make a mistake. In not pressuring, he has all of the cards in his hands.
Yes.
That being said, I want to see him pressure it.
I mean, you're spot on there. He knows the position he's in. He can probably go for roads here and just keep pressuring Bossman. What's going to happen as this game progresses? Yeah, look, he's going with riders here, healing them up. Bossman can't really do anything in terms of offensive. He just needs to play defense. He needs to hope that he can survive. He does find that village, which is great for him. He really needs that. He really needs that if he's going to have a comeback here. But unfortunately, he cannot make any more units. So look at the, do you see the next playlist? Do you see what can potentially happen?
You'll have to walk me through it if you're seeing something I'm not.
So I don't know how many stars. I think 4 villages. Quick math in my head. He might be able to buy roads plus just 1 roads. What he could do is he could siege that city down south in Nahilo or something. So he could go for a rider. He could bounce off. I think he can do it 1, 2. Nah, yeah, he needs roads here. He's probably gonna do it. Look, there we go. Yeah, he had enough, and he's gonna bounce on that village. Look at this.
Oh, is he? I mean, I agree with you that looks like
And then he's gonna kill that, and then yeah, this is GG.
This is heading towards its logical conclusion. I think is the wordy way of saying GG.
Good game.
We'll see. Again, we know, like, the longer it's not a great position to be in for Bossman. It does look like McLuvan is going to be the Kickoo representative. Can he hold his nerve? Like we're saying, it could be a slam dunk, but I'll be honest, in the last qualifiers, I did see some people fumble positions as strong as this. So it can still turn around.
Yeah, this is gonna be a good move.
Oh, he's going for it. I think if he goes for it, I think that'll be it. I do agree with you. If he goes for it, that'll be it. It's a case of does he in go the riders?
Yeah, this really
the back.
This looks like winning here. This looks like winning Leif. I mean, he's he can't defend against it. You know.
There's nothing he can do. Oh, good. The boat's for the water. That'll do it. Yeah, we'll see what Bossman does on his turn. He might fight to the last. I certainly would if I was in his position. But we're not seeing any mistakes. McLuvan would have to do something massive here. It would have to be a dramatic mistake. Frankly, we'd have to check the betting lines if he lost at this point. All right, Bossman, what are you doing on your turn? How are you countering this? Come up with something. Show us something.
So Bossman has 5 stars. He needs to get riding.
Finds a village.
He's not giving up. I love this. I love this tenacity.
Yeah, well, it's great. Again, if you resign, you guarantee a loss. You know? That's the only thing that's guaranteed.
Exactly. But it's a rough spot to be in. Like,
incredibly difficult.
Yeah.
And he's not going to be able to stop that rider from taking it. He's going to be having to try and hold his capital, and then he's going to send his warriors around to try and scoop up what little villages there are that remain, you know?
And this is what
we're going to see McLuvan presumably try and take the same and push.
Yeah.
God, what potential mistakes could McLuvan do at this point to fumble here?
Well, I mean, he has a strong line of defense here with the riders, so he can. Oh, he's going to siege his capital. Look at that.
There it is.
And Bossman is going to have 0 stars next turn. He can unsiege. No, he can't. He can't unsiege.
He can't unsiege?
He can unsiege here. It's 15. He's got a veteran. This is, yeah.
There it is.
McLuvan wins.
McLuvan does win. And I want to confirm it before we do anything else. I cannot imagine for a second McLuvan's resigned there, but I want to make sure. Should we just call it? I want to confidently say.
We can call it. This is
there we go.
McLuvan landslide
wins. There we go. A fantastic win to cap off what has been an eventful day. McLuvan is the Kickoo tribe champion. They will be going to the face-off with 12 tribes, 11 other tribes. Only 8 of those can make it all the way to Stockholm. And you can see I've been rubbing my head a lot, trying to think of ways that the Bossman could have gotten out of that one. The Yak tribe. This is who we're going to be focusing on next week. Give me just a little sneak preview of what we might expect.
Yeah, so the Yadak tribe is, they start off with roads, right? So what does that mean? It means that they can quickly use their roads to gain 2 tiles of movement. So this is really where expansion is going to be very important. And you know, they have a strong road to trade, right? You can tell by the things that they like: discounts, respectable business practices, capitalism, and again, one thing they don't like is the Wenger. Again,
obviously,
there is this Wenger thing. But yeah, Yadak is going to be a very interesting matchup. You can still sign up for this, right?
Absolutely can. You absolutely can. So if you want us to be covering your game next week, make sure that you sign up. All right. You can sign up for any of these tribes. Again, Ramdingler decided the Kickoo tribe, not for him. Has signed up for a different tribe. Is going to try and make it to the final with his favored tribe. So why don't you at home get involved, and it could be you next.